We begin our call to the committee, Human Services Committee. So with that, I will go ahead and call our meeting to order here at 8:25 a.m. And we'll move on to item number, next item for the item one, which is roll call. Staff, can you give roll call for us?
Good morning, Chair and and members of the Health Education and Human Services Committee of the 25th Navajo Nation Council Special Meeting, August 16, 2023, Fire Rock Conference Room. Honorable Helena Nesbegay. Honorable Vince R. James. Honorable Dr. Andy Naz. Honorable Jermaine Simonson. Honorable George Toth. Honorable Curtis Yanito.
Here.
Chair, you have 6 members present, including yourself, which constitutes a quorum.
Thank you very much, Councilman, for that roll call. Now moving on to the next item, which is the location. Yeah, honorable Dr. Benny Mann, you assist us for the location this morning.
I think that there is, I think my colleagues, actually, education, down, I know, that,
Thank you for that beautiful prayer, honorable Dr. Jimenez. Thank you very much for the invocation. With that, moving on to the next announcements. I do have one announcement, and that is our budget hearing on the GSP will be beginning at 11 a.m. this morning. So we reset yesterday. So our meeting starts back up today at 11 a.m. So with that, committee members, if there is no other announcements, I would like to move on to the next item. Honorable Vice Chair.
This honorable members has, I sent, I forwarded a announcement, there's the EIA social service workshop in Reno, Nevada. I don't know if you want to add that to the agenda, the 2-day workshop. So we'll send that on. Yeah, you haven't received it. And then the social service, you know, they just said that it would be nice if members could attend the thing. So they've been Reno, Nevada.
Okay, so that email has been sent over. So what was added on to the item 8 of our agenda, we're going to get to reviewing the document. Thank you for that announcement, Vice Chair, and thank you for emailing that information out as well. With that, committee members, are there any additional announcements? Virtual,
Good morning, October, it's been, I want to say good morning to all the staff and giving us a 19, the 18, we have Eastern Land Commission meeting here across the district. And let's go from here. So thank you.
okay, thank you very much. With that, we have that announcement on August 18th, Eastern Land Board Commission meeting. With that, I also like to make another announcement. We do have a belated birthday in the house, which is our delegated superintendent of the net education. Last Friday, so I'd like to wish her a happy birthday, make a happy birthday. Superintendent Edgewater, thank you. Then next item is in regards to another announcement that we will eventually hear a presentation from, and that is from the Shamrock Recovery Service LLC. I'd like to give some time to Mr. Big Man to provide a real quick brief information regarding Shamrock Recovery Service. At the end of our meeting, we will give you some time to discuss. And Shamrock Recovery Service LLC will be purchasing on breakfast this morning for the community members. So that's all on the Big Man having made that announcement as well. So I'll let you give you some time, Mr. Big Man, do a quick one for announcement.
That's it. Then, thank you for the second chair, and members of today. So, Shamrock, they're working on their next launch, the public officer, but we'll have a quick discussion about, because tomorrow, I heard that you guys are hearing about Operation Rainbow Bridge. And so they've heard a lot of concerns about what's going on, and we're hoping that we provide some support and insight on things on how we can provide solutions. That way, we're gonna some of these problems without being the basis of the discussion. So, yeah.
All right, thank you for that announcement. We also do have some VIP here, and I would like to give them some time on the item to recognize themselves. We do also have other members here, and I'd like to give them some time as well for recognition when we get to that item. So it's time individuals get yourself ready to make a brief introduction until we get to item number 2. Would like to make that announcement, get yourself ready as well. Any other announcements? Committee members, we do have a scheduled Health Education Human Service Committee tomorrow as well at 8 a.m. And that will be at the Department of Behavioral Health behind Wonder Rock Coliseum in that new building. It will be on the first floor, their conference. And that will be tomorrow at 8 a.m. to go over the division of conference on the budget. That's the very last division that we have to approve as a Health Education Human Service Committee. So that's the very last one that we have. So that will be tomorrow as well at 8 a.m. And then of course we start starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow. For 8 a.m. Other than that, there's no other announcements. Committee members, if there's no other announcement, I'd like to move on to item number 2, which is recognition of guest and visiting officials. I'd like to go ahead and start off with myself, and then we'll just go around the room real quickly. Just a brief introduction. If we can keep it brief, we appreciate that. I know we need to get back to when you're up as well for our PSP. So this is a real quick brief introduction. Brief introduction for everyone. Okay. So with that, Council Delegate Ben State, and I represent 5 pastors speaking of the Somerville, Steamboat, and Jericho, and I currently chair the Health Education Human Service Committee. So good morning to everyone.
Good morning. Today, going in there today. For the chief, some of this, we have this, we must think about this, I represent. Walking out, online machine, I declare this moment. Yeah, they then catch it in learning science, I love to should not, to speak. That has been another, initiative. Although, teaching, national.
Good morning, everyone. I take the minutes, to achieve because we go faster. I opportunity to work with clients, yes, just became what I work alongside our community, it's software for school, but it's from Castarly. Maka, that's really the water, to stay in Lisa, since and on this morning, everyone. Sydney from the meeting, sit top on the slim, I see them, I see the team, I say, I'm the theater information officer with the Department of Education. Now we look forward to review all the efforts and there is the way to the nominations for the task force. Now, thank you all for joining us today.
Good morning, Mr. Andre, number plans, one board, currently the single consolidated school president, board president. Good morning, everybody. This will be continuing to share that we had actually much to I'm originally from Indian and some of reside in New York. I'm a student beginning of further sessions going to Bureau of Human Education with years. Yeah, and then she is ensuring and it's going to be the stream of the message and must be changing in the state then send comment in our staff of the 15 and then the agent
I would want that we would it's it's school safety program device. That's I did help with you guys.
Yeah, Dave, good morning, Sonia Water, acting superintendent for the Department of Education. That initiates the HEHSC over the initial touch which we got in some ways came on with the one of the students seven on the age of the right and that's much. Good morning, I'm gonna have my young A this morning, okay. So we're working on Jermaine Chappelle and I work with City Consolidated General Counsel there. And we're here to talk more about school safety with the task force. Good morning, I'm Sabrina Gazelle Initiative. I am the Gallup Chancellor. And I have been the work with Dr. Clark for the past few months on coordinating discussions about healthcare pathways and medical services. So thank you. Yes, thank you for that.
Not to you, come on. And the chair is the health safety test.
That, Chris. Good morning, City Office Works, I didn't share. Clean funds, well, for the clean funds, let's take us to go over. Okay. The, all the information officer, the secret office.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Karen Thompson. I'm the legislative assistant with the Health Education and Human Services Committee. I'm Kiahani born for representative Tobahan educator.
Thank you very much, Lieutenant. Thank you for all the introduction, for keeping it brief. Appreciate it very much. Good morning. I think I was saying the plans earlier should be put into response to the question meeting. Yeah, I just see I'm gonna want another the next thing over that really quickly. Auto non-smoking auto, item number 3, review the top agenda. I'd like to
Yes, the proposed amendment. The health and human services providing one of these are we have July 26th, 2023, and the meeting for Alamo and communities. 5, the city report states a report from the Department of Education regarding the Department of Education schools and task force. Presenters are Dr. Lugar, Education Administrator Office of the School Improvements. We have 6 old 9 centimeters of plan, 8 months of meeting and adjournment. Next meeting, Hamilton, after we choose healthcare compensation.
Thank you very much, Mr. for that. Committee members, do I have a motion for the agenda? Committee members. Motion made by Honorable Mayor Cole, second made by Honorable Selena Nancy. With that, committee members, we did have one request to add on the social service workshop that will take place in Reno, Nevada, August 24th, 23rd and 24th and 25th. Those are the days. So we'll add that under item 8 as codes of media announcement. As to find out who we need to do all information requests for there. So we'll add that on under item number 8. So with that, committee members, are there any other add-ons, deletions, corrections to the agenda? Then go all the unnamed or the vote the
On a key, but also.
Machine, if there's no questions, deletions, corrections, With that, here's, I will go ahead and call for a roll call vote to adopt our agenda. Honorable Vice Chair, Honorable Renfro.
Please, Chair, this was, 3 months ago. To invite the state of New Mexico to sort of meet the state of New Mexico. We haven't done that. There's a lot of issues in the state of New Mexico, especially in the state. And we'd like to have some information, how the spike and support the initiative of that. This, have see if the staff can, make arrangement again sometime after the budget hearing. Or, time of the dates this week. Like to meet the state of New Mexico. And then, the other one is state of New Mexico County. I think now this is important. There's some issues in regards to the role. How we've been doing this at the road for some years, and a lot of parents are complaining that everybody has to get online. So, there's a lot of education, or people that understand what's going on. To be able to, if we have that education, we like to be able to then, we want what's happening, giddy up, able to check.
Yeah, Honorable total for that. So with that, you yourself and Honorable Helena Nancy are the motioning party. So we can put that under item 8, number 8 of the announcements as one as some updates regarding scheduling the meeting of the state of New Mexico superintendent of school. Sam provide us an update. You can put that under item 8 as another item, and then the second one that we added is to discuss the county school board's concern. And when we get to that, we'll go to that more, so we can add this on the meetings. Committee members, any add-ons, corrections, deletions, to the agenda meeting, committee members. If there is none, we will have a motion, made by Honorable Frederick and Honorable Helena Nancy. If there is no questions, I will move forward to a roll call vote. Honorable Vice Chair James Henderson. Honorable Helena Nancy. Honorable Curtis Nika. Honorable Frederick. Honorable Dr. Inez. With that, we do have 5 in favor, the chair. With that, we do have agenda with add-ons related to our agenda. So with that, moving on to item number 4, which is review the docket journal that was emailed out to us. So we do have that email electronic version. So with that, we'll have a motion to accept the journals for July 26th. Regular meeting location was at Alamo, now location in New Mexico. We'll have a motion to accept as written. Honorable. Okay, thank you. Second, made by Honorable Helena Nancy. Committee members, do we have any questions in regards to our journal for July 26th, 2023 regular meeting location Alamo, now location in New Mexico? Going once, if there's no questions, I will move on to roll call vote. Going twice. Committee members, with that roll call vote, Honorable Vice Chair James Henderson, Honorable Helena Nancy, Honorable Dr. Inez, Honorable Churchill, Honorable Curtis Nika. So with that, we do have 4 in favor, 1 opposed, and chair not voting. So with that, our manual is hereby adopted. With that, we are moving on to the next item, which is item number 5, receiver report, and that is a report department and education, Doty School Safety Task Force presentation. We do have a president here, office for the department, education administrator, office for school improvement, and we also do have the other team members here, and we also have staff
the conduct of the education, as if providing that support as well. So with that, I will give you the floor. Here, Dr. Furlan Park, and you may begin on your report. Thank you. So that I will give you the floor. Here, Dr. Furlan Park, and you may begin on the
In April. 20 years old, he walked into Newcomb High School. And he was unchecked, security didn't check. So he ended up in school. The school leadership got a hold of now, police, and they took it over to the problem. There's no jail, it's a problem. There's no detention center, it's a problem. But he had to go to the hospital to get some medication. So they took him, transported him to the detention center. And at the end of it, he was in jail for 8 hours. After 8 hours, because of there's a consent decree that the navigation has, he was released early in the morning. And then at 4 bus in high school. Again, we check Hudson and Delegate Johnny Parrish. They send an email to the leadership, speaker, president, vice president, superintendent, and so that time the vice president, Vivian Montoya, Wachuma, they asked him to come up and start that meeting that first time. So behind this PowerPoint copy, there's also another sheet that has that's in background that is specific information between what happened. So the outpatient police, the public safety, the regional director, the department director, the staff, the medicine, Department of Health was there. Dodie was there. We had the top brass of the outpatient police force, and then the Kansas City School District along with Delegate Parrish. And so they're very urged on safety, but because it had to do with mental health, we included this health and safety as a password. And I just created it as a name, Evolution Health Safety Password. We reached out to the Indian Health Service Director, the hospital, and the lines, public schools. We reached out to the BIE. Mind you, that the navigation program for education has had no really relationship with the BIE and the public schools. Aside from Head Start and also our control schools. So this became a movement, and we had 7 meetings along the way. The consultant, central consulting school, through the leadership of Christina Hopkins and Superintendent William Charleston. They said we should host a school safety summit in Chicago. So that was one of our plans. So as I present this, I want to ask the committee. I know we have a HEHSC committee over there, but it's such that they can't want to share this presentation. Probably take a little more than 20 minutes so that we can get the full picture of how this task force came to be and what we started doing. And then we had a couple of meetings in Chicago. We had a couple of meetings with the DOH. Hospitals, medical providers, mental health, environmental health experts. And so along the way, we decided to host a school safety summit. I have to get a team on one team, we will representative public safety. So you got education, you have health, and you also have the DIE, we have public safety. Along the way, we found out this data was really. You know what happened in the departments like that student son over at Walmart? You know what's happened throughout the United States? schools and. Faculty, and this data kind of result, right? It's not a matter of if it's gonna happen on that location, it's a matter of when. I would say, where some season. I would say, Atlanticals. That's what you will be done. We want to get ahead of that. We want to get ahead of that. We don't want that. We don't want that to happen to anybody. Safety. There are more public schools, schools on the outreach than there are police officers. That's bad. People police that are outreach, judicial is broken. The police information on one of the main upsides of this passport, we have a number of regulations. And that's people thought this passport was built up for a lot of ways. The school important for us to not give people. We found out that it's really not a taking resource office, department of education. We don't have a safety office. There's not really a safety office within any of the departments of that issue. You can go to the drug council, you can be police, you can be buildings, even buildings. There's no safety. There's no health safety. We find that out. And so when emergency happen, it's not that number one is immediate communications. The public safety, this animal owners on that one. It had the front that most that people work with the social media. You didn't talk delegate from Chicago, you made that not one of the meetings. And really, this is what public safety community oversight, it's health education community, it's everybody's, the evolution possible. It's further. So along the way, we found out that they didn't have police officers, they have a hard time recruiting police officers. And then on top of that, they have limited jurisdiction with the county, with the DIE, with the state. And so that was another concern. And then the poorly paid too. They're $20,000-$30,000 for local market value, especially for incoming officers, but also those that have been there for a number of years. Then there's limited housing too, to house them in our communities. So that was a primary wood, the primary concern that came out was on police, public safety, and then we don't have any emergency preparedness program across the whole nation. Over, you know, whatever it should be, was the emergency. But something like that across the we haven't been like a homeland security secretary or the director on that. Because you have them in publics. And then our hospitals are disconnected too. When that happened to pharmacy, they sent the notice out over there in that whole trip. They went on lockdown. The terminology of all of our schools. So first of all, we had a really good relationship with the VIE. We started only a week so number one thing is it's not democratic, it's not Republican, it's not Democratic, it's not critical, it's all of us. So the VIE, they came along, they have a lot of schools that do. I think we went with the house. We talked about house. The leadership of the central, the answer, winter one. That would be very evident. So what happened, Jermaine Chappelle, I think the legal prosecutor, she's been kind of a small way, she's expert, knowledge, and she's been advising for law school. Former leadership, the state of New Mexico, we have people that sit in New Mexico, the state of Arizona, the city of Utah. In fact, the state of Arizona plans, I think it's $78 million to fund school resource officers on the national. Arizona public schools. We end up interacting with all these school leaders, and so we're ready.
Good morning. I wanted to say good morning, especially this time. It's very clear that all right. So you want to go to in your packet, you're going to see four different compilations here. These are from our breakout sections. And so when you look through the agenda and the topics that are labeled breakout topics, what we did beforehand was we identified a number of things that if we have financial reform, we would need to change right away. And so what we did was with about 150 folks show up both virtually and in person. And so what we did was day one, as you see on the agenda, was mostly kind of getting some training in what is the problem, what are the concerns. Day two was breakout. I was in the breakout session with Ms. Hostas and Honorable Delegate Nez. We had really great conversations about restorative justice in that particular one. And so what you're going to see on these packets are the breakdowns on subject matter area. So you have mental health, you have law and order, budget and funding, and school safety resource center. Then you've got training, post-event response and recovery, essential skills and resources, and then you've got communication and infrastructure. And so as you go down the list in the beginning, you're going to see the original subject. Sorry.
So we got the training post direct response on the company.
There should be four, so there might be 2%. I don't know. And so in the beginning are the original ones that we had discussed. On the next page, you'll see the ones that were added as a result of the breakout sessions from the summit. As a very kind of high overview on executive summary, what we're going to bring back to you, especially after we have our second summit that's going to focus on mental health, we're going to bring back to you an actual action plan with recommendations, but very high level, as Dr. Clark mentioned, what we're finding is that we need to have more regional communication. And so, because we had a threat event happen in one of the districts in New Mexico, and then that threat event actually got transported essentially to Arizona. And so what it taught us is that we can't act in silos with respect to the safety issues. And so what we kind of come circling back to time and time again is that we probably need to establish a school safety resource center that is able to handle that within our nation and reaching out to the one corner region. The other thing that Dr. Clark already talked about is lack of resources. And so not only do we have a drastic shortage of law enforcement officers, but we also have a very large shortage of mental health professionals. And so those two kind of combine to really exacerbate the problem. We're also looking at CCAs and a number of our other school or our other districts at holistic wellness, so that it's not just about mental health or clinical issues, but it's also about the whole child. What are they experiencing? How as adults can we help them through that? So you know, way ahead of time, we give them what they need so they're not making these choices. The next big item is training. The more training we can have, the better. So from your all's perspective in the community that you're on, we identified mental health, obviously, the event itself, how can we be more prepared, not just from a person standpoint, but also from a physical safety standpoint, our schools and how our schools are set up. One of the things that was extremely telling that came out of the Aztec shooting is that they found one bullet went through 5 walls. So that was just kind of an eye opener, because what it taught me was we have to potentially look when we're building new schools or we're renovating, how we move that to place. And then the other huge component on training is after events and re-education. And then kind of the fifth main overarching subject is law change. What kind of changes do we need to make to state, to federal, to now the nation code and law to kind of support this effort? So committee very high level, that's where our executive summary is going. What we plan to bring to you is much more detail in about a month or so. Or month and a half for the help on that. A complete package, and with that, we'll go through.
I don't know, when the delegates ask me, what kind of authority do you have on the Florida? What kind of authority do you have? We discussed the executive branch and me, I'm an educator. And within the Department of Education, we have an acting superintendent, Claudia Edgewater, who came on and supports what we're doing here. And so I think we're going to have the BIA talk. And to talk about their leadership and all the things that they can share. There's confidence that you can make it for them.
So, thank you, Dr. Martin. So this is an initiative that we're trying to address. Like I said, it kind of just with an infancy mode and then now developing and it's taken off. So we've had a lot of collaboration and partnerships with a lot of different entities and organizations. So I guess the wonderful thing about it was this was already put into place, it was ready to be planned and conducted, and then the shooting, circumstance of the Arlington shooting had happened. So I was really liking everybody to say, hey, we need to do something about it. So Dr. Clark has worked wonderfully with a lot of schools, boards, law enforcement throughout the nation, and through the county as well. We've also looked out to the state of Arizona, which has informed us that they do have a state program or some funding available to us as well to assist with safety task force and also with providing counselors and that type of service as well. So, but other than that, like I said, this issue we have today, especially coming back from the pandemic and people enduring getting back into their clinical realm of just everyday life. So those are a lot of problematic issues that are now inspiring to us as we went through the pandemic. So, but he has reached out and has bridged a lot of communication and partnership with the expertise of the area in their fields. And it's been very productive, and we continue to support the initiative and the efforts to make sure that we know in reality we're not going to be needing to say as everything. So one size fits all fits, but we know we can minimize or at least make the awareness of key things into place to make a preventative factor as well. Thank you.
We are with BIE. My name is Savannah Six, and my colleague Kristen. And with BIE, there are 66 BIE schools across Navajo. There are 32 bureau-operated schools, and there is 34 tribal controlled schools. So with the BIE, one of the big things when we talk about school safety is really understanding what happens before an emergency or a crisis, during an emergency or crisis, and after. Before, during, and after. So when Crystal and I are working together, we help provide technical assistance to the school. So when we say before, we look at prevention efforts. What can we do by building partnerships with our community-based program? And this goes with William Furman and his team. What can we help establish violence prevention, suicide prevention, drug prevention in our communities?
And being able to know that collaboration with our community-based programs and having them come into our school, educate our students and also our school staff and how to respond to certain crisis situations. Now, when we talk about during an emergency, we have to help schools responding to a crisis or an emergency. You know, what can the school do as a standard response procedures when a crisis or emergency happens? So a lot of our schools already have an emergency action plan, and they also have a COOP list. What those mean, what that represents is that our schools do have a document that specifically shares with the school staff on how to work with their students in responding to an emergency. That provides sequential steps and how will they resume operation after the event of a crisis or emergency. And then after that, we talk about after the incident has occurred. So this is when we go into recovery. You know, what kind of supports can we provide in school as far as mental health support and so forth. So when Crystal and I get together, we use a lot of national level evidence-based practices in responding to an emergency or crisis situation that impacts the students' safety, mental health, and well-being. So therefore, we use SAMHSA, U.S. Homeland Security. We also use FEMA and also the Center of Disease Control and Prevention efforts and modeling one child. So I'm going to let my colleagues speak next. Crystal. Yes,
Crystal, committee members, 20 minutes is about a minute and a half away. If there is
30.
any kind of consensus, that we can have additional 10 minutes.
30
that's
seconds.
okay. Honorable George.
Thank you, Chair. I think 5 minutes will be.
Okay. So with that, 5 minutes, okay, committee members, 5 minutes. So with that, we'll give you additional 5 minutes to present, and then from there we'll go to questions. So, floor is yours.
So real quick, thank you for being able to invite us and being able to allow time for us to be able to speak. So, like what, I'm going to caveat what's been mentioned. I'm going to more speak to the behavioral health wellness side. So when it comes to, we should mention the prevention, intervention, and recovery stages when the emergency crisis happens. I have been sure to help the schools in terms of being able to know that the schools have, they understand and know their local resources when it comes to either health, social services, welfare, and making sure that we are collaborating with IHS. And that we have, I've been working with our behavioral consultant in terms of making sure whatever in terms of counseling or when it comes to crisis debriefing, because we've also been experiencing a lot, but the school experiencing a lot. Say, for example, we have to be able to, you know, immediately be there to assist in terms of helping the staff, students in school, and provide that community counseling. And I actually think that a huge support for that. So I just want to be able to say that along with the national initiatives and even in the IHS community, a blanket of with helping schools to have full wellness services when it comes to parenting. And training when it comes to intervention.
I know, just to wrap it up here, because there's a document we also gave you from the University of New Mexico, as part of the mental, behavioral health of our family, our communities. We know there's a new Downtown hospital being built, there's a new one over at State Hospital. There's a need for nurses, we can contract nurses all over now. Dr. Doug Donuts, CEO of the Union Medical School in Albuquerque. And Chancellor Sabrina here, I met her at State Memorial Hospital and worked with her. And so we brought hospitals, and it was brought the leadership from the navigation and also looting. And they want to build out the medical school from Albuquerque over to yellow parts of it. The direct medical providers, also the agencies, season done, actually, huddle, or work done, actually, putting on the machine, huddle, we get, it's, which that emotional, behavioral, mental health, environmental health. So that is, we had a meeting last month, we had a meeting next Friday. I sent an invitation to Chair James and to some of you as committee members. Instead of going to Albuquerque, we're looking to fill out a medical program over here at Gallup. So there's a strategic plan here that was outlined, and so in close or presentation, prepare the committee. This is everybody knows that health and safety is the most important. Your health, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, your financial health, and your children, your grandchildren. That's number one. And on the navigation, our movement, we're scattered, fragmented. Our data, if you look at this PowerPoint in detail, you can see the map of the navigation. All of our schools need to be connected. Something happens. When this was going on, the photo of a handgun with a bullet cylinder, and they said, "I'm going to go to Hopi High." That was the case. That was all over the place. And so they sent it to us, and we sent it to our task force, the chief of police, they notified the Hopi police. So, hey, that's why the communication has become the number one importance. Their ever-rich system request is going through the SCS. It's taken so long. It's taken so long, bureaucracy. We can't even pay our teachers, our doctors, our nurses. We're like 20,000 to 30,000 below market value. There's no housing. Not just our teachers, but also our healthcare providers. So those are the main pieces that are coming out of this task force and our recommendations. And we will provide more detail as we move forward. But he's a big position of ending Title 10, Title 17, conducting some hearings. For some funny individuals. Yeah, other than the case, other than the yes, possibly.
Thank you very much, not current for that, and then team members, for the presentation. We have a need for that information as well. With that, committee members, do I have a motion to accept the report? Motion made by Honorable Dr. Hernandez, second, committee members. Second made by Vice Chair Dr. Wade Simonson. With that, committee members, are there any questions, comments? Honorable Dr. Dorsal.
Reported on and of course, we have safety policy, not a safety policy. This new policy go out to all schools, county, school, check on these. All forces needs to be involved. So on this part of the soil, this child, certain situation, they have a problem that involves or school, or some schools time. We already have that place. So this child had to be then in the city, you pick up a child, you have to contact the parents. They have to see before you take this child. So find it. even though some of the value of students are awesome. So my recommendation from Scott is to that a big issue conference or meeting from but of school. Although where I'm from, city. Good. And also school. From school, we are in more. It's good school. So. School, but obviously, there to see the security. So. Yeah. It's always. Something. Things, yes, cooperation. Local. Bus. Do another. Legislation to get more power. And it can be done. But all is not school, school needs to work with that education. They are that's what we have. So all come together, say for kids, no matter what, there's and our house. So, you know, child here, there's responsibility for our. So, I think that. Also, the part. That we have that or see school Arizona see what here senior place we have here for that as the key help us share.
Thank you very much, for those questions and comments. Committee members, are there any other questions, comments? Committee members, with that, I'd like to, mention, some few things that I have, questions. In regards to the VIP, if you can provide us, some more, a recap of the numbers that you indicated, of the VIP school, your great schools that you will receive, you can give us that information. And then I also like to, thank, for providing us the packet. And there is questions that I have regarding the breakout session outcome. And I think it really brings out some very important pieces that we as lawmakers and now foundation have been trying to figure out. And this is not the only part that has been provided to the lawmakers. You are not the first team that have provided similar response to particular items that it's happened. And it's very surprising to see that the majority of some of these information that we receive, they all want to go back to the same thing. And to me, it just seems like we're slowly addressing 1% to maybe 2% of some of these items that are listed on here. And so my very first one is in regards to elders and getting that information out to our national children. And the hard part is coming down to addressing the 911 issue. And when our elders call to report on some sort of an incident, automatically we don't have the national speaker on the line. Or automatically we don't have the automated machine that's speaking the now. And so at that point, that our elderly and now our elderly already know that. And they just go into the shock mode, and they don't know what else to do or what to say, and they just go to protect themselves as the elderly. And so when I say that we're addressing 1% of it, on the federal level, we know that the AT&T, the 911 system was in place. And boy, was that a very tough debate battle, trying to figure out okay, how we're going to address to get this service out to the now nation. Because we don't have some kind of AT&T now. And then at the same time, it was tough to deal with cellular wireless. Trying to get an agreement to have AT&T's equipment be put on cellular ones. At the same time, it was very bothering to see that even though some of these cell towers were located in the chapter boundaries, they were still indicating no to cell to AT&T that on the tower. So it was a battle, but for the past 3 years, I think it's been a very interesting ride, dealing with HEHSC and cellular wireless. But now they pull me go. Now they're working together to get a lot of these things on cellular wireless. And so that's a big piece, that's a big area that I see in out of the 4 topics. And the majority of the 4 topics, you guys have elderly somehow way at the same time, it's very concerning when we talk about the traditional view and the traditional response. And the reason why I say this, we do have a couple communities within our national nation that don't honor traditional culture anymore, that don't respect traditional ceremonies anymore. And that's the piece that's missing out of this breakup session. And so it has, these communities have actually moved on to Christianity. And that's a part that is really bothering because when I look at these documents here, they talk about the traditional value, but at the same time, there's no indication on here of the Christian point of view as well. How are they helping us? How are they assisting us? And I know reading this talk Honorable Vice Chair Renee Hines will probably go into more depth about building all these churches here on the Navajo Nation. Why are we not reaching out to these churches to provide these kind of services, provide this kind of information to their church members? And so when it comes down to it, we don't have that accountability coming from the church throughout the Navajo Nation. How do we ask them to assist us? Because they're coming onto the Navajo Nation and they're coming onto the Navajo Nation to build their church buildings. How are they helping us to reach out to our local individuals? And I don't see that in here. And I just wanted to mention that because it is very important to have them involved with all of this. And at the same time, in your non-order budget and funding, this amending Title 17, look how long it's taking us. And just imagine if we start saying that we want to start amending all these other titles, how long that's going to take. And even Title 17, I think we're going on for almost 3 years trying to make that amendment to Title 17 to accommodate a lot of these issues, especially when it's coming to student safety. And so how do we move forward in moving this to expedite that it's a speedy process to amend our titles, our laws, and the now probation. And I'm really happy to see that the amendment of Title 17 is not here. I know when I served on the law board committee the last term, that's when we started this whole Title 17 deal. It's still in the process and still hasn't even come before council yet. So it's something that we really need to educate the current Nation Council as well on where the amendments are. And how important it is that we need to expedite this Title 17 to get those accommodations in some cases schools. And when it comes down to it, always comes back to the funding portion. I like all of these areas regarding medical health and what all the action items are listed, but again, it comes back down to funding. Who's going to fund it to provide that training? Who's going to go out there and provide that training to the chapters at the chapter level to the school? And it all comes back down to the funding portion, and at the same time, we continue to address a lot of different needs that is out there that we do not accommodation. But I think another piece that would be very helpful is how much funding we do need to at least start some of this process. I know we can't pack all of it all at once and everything, but if maybe if we do it by phases or by sections of non-formation and request funding and that happen, I mean, that's a start. Where do we start from? And I attended several conferences under both or any of the grant schools conferences that they kind of, and rarely do I see presentation that is pertaining to school safety. And I think we need to start also telling those training coordinators or those event coordinators these schools that they need to somehow embed a lot of school safety at the conference that they or their annual event that they have or back to school events that they have. They need to include these important. So what is, I guess my question to you is, have you guys identified priority training that's or mandatory training that should be done by all the educational institutions here? Have you guys created that? Has that been generated? If so, can you share that with the HEHSC committee that we can relay that when they come before us and provide that report and say, before are you on this training? Have you even provided this training? When have you provided this training? I think that would be very helpful as HEHSC committees and have that understanding of what are the mandated trainings for our staff and so forth in all education on the national nation. So that's my last piece, and I appreciate all this information. Very helpful and job well done to each and every one of you tonight. And thank you for providing that service to our staff. With that, I will move on to one more white shirt array, consent, and then from there we'll move on to honorable dinner next day.
Again, I want to thank you, Dr. Clark, and your staff, for that really good information. I really appreciate it. And I've worked in school before and worked in community and spent a lot of time on mental behavioral health and community-based programming. And so I know that your task is really just to look at school safety, and your, honing in on school, environment. But I think, if we were able to take a step back and we start to look at the entire community, and this might be just, it might be, I might be proposing something that might be just a little bit too big, but I think it really needs to be collaboration also with, Department of Community Development. The only reason I say this is because we're seeing some of these safety issues in our chapters. And so, it really, that is a real indication that our communities are in a lot of need. And they're coming out of COVID. It was already mentioned 2 years in the midst of COVID, from the mental behavioral health perspective, we were already told, there was a lot of information out there and research out there that said, now you need to prepare for mental health epidemic, because that's what's coming after, if COVID is truly over or not. There's gonna be mental health epidemic. And there was, concerns about that, and people already alarmed they rang the bell on that one already. And so here we are, we're nowhere prepared for that. And so we're starting to see that in our communities, a lot of anger, a lot of grief, that is coming from this. And we're starting to see that in our community, chapter meetings and, people lashing out. And so when part of the other thing that I've not seen, and I talked about this before, is, we really need to encourage our schools to be trauma-informed schools. That is where we really need to begin, because that's how the school really can try to help themselves. And when I say, and I hope that's probably new language for some people, but what trauma-informed schools does is, if as an education system, you're there, everybody is trained to kind of look out for these young folks. So little ones coming to school that are unkept, maybe they're bullying other kids, and you start to work with them and to start to understand their story. A lot of the kids that are bullied are coming from homes with a lot of domestic violence. So they're seeing the violence, either their parent is physically assaulting them, or maybe both of other sisters are beating on the little ones, so then the little ones come to school and do that to others. So really, you'll learn behavior, and they're really just, demonstrating what they learned in their team, now they want to working on others. And so it's a matter of talking to them and really helping the whole family. It's not just the child, it's certainly the whole family. We really partnered up, the school partnered up with the local community health service counseling department, and we also partnered with the courts. And so it was really several partners that were involved, in which we work with families. We asked, the TV, if the courts were going to refer some people to the domestic violence program. We told them to refer them to our family program, because of the family program, we work with the entire family. And we set it up in a way that when we refer families, we didn't say that this family is referred, they just came to the program and everyone is treated equally. And so some of the things that I saw from our men, when the men showed up and they're the dads to these kids, they would show up and right away, and this is the Filipino way of treating our people. The right way to make a point to tell us I'm a batter, I'm a perpetrator. And and that wasn't what that's not the point of this program. So we tell them that, okay, but when you're here, your dad should and we think that's second. E could fare le notti di che scegli di donna come sa che parlo di sì poi ho pensato che say and which the and she in the son of the age is not and so that's how we would address, you know, the fathers. That really is a different model. It's a different way of looking at this, you know, how we treat people and how we treat our families. And that was one of the biggest, when we did our, when we did our surveys, that was the biggest feedback and response from us was those dads appreciating and telling us, thank you for treating me, you know, with respect. I've always felt that, you know, because I'm a dad and I've been charged with these crimes, that I'm not a good person and I'm not worthy of respect. So they can't have because you be the way you treated us. So those simple things like that, we really need to integrate that back into the way we work with families. But trauma-informed care is looking at these and the younger that we can identify, younger, because the longer that the child is enduring trauma, the outcome is compared outcomes that were, you know, the high drug incidents, the high alcohol incidents, you know, high health issues, you know, obesity, diabetes, chronic health conditions, death before the age of 50. Those are all indicators that this one person had gone through a lot of trauma in their lives. So I really want to see how are we going to integrate trauma-informed care into these schools, but also that really impacts the community as well. And then the other thing is, you know, that we have their training back the action plan off the ground. And I think that was also planned, and it speaks to a lot of these things. And I saw the other day in the budget that they're finally going to put some money towards it. But how can this group also be involved in that? Because that's also addressing these same things that we're talking about, the social ills in our communities. So that's that and I think if everybody that would handle, that my concern with that is right now it's sitting under the Department of Social Services. My concern with that is it really needs somebody who's real passionate about this work, who really wants to get out into communities and make some kind of change. That's the kind of leader that it needs. It really needs that. So I, you know, I mentioned that before, and that's the only way it's really, so they'll tell you to be it's really important work. I really, you know, appreciate that and the work put into it. I think we really need to get behind it and move it along, because that'll help the issues within the chapters as well. Go on to state. And I think the thing that we really get caught up on is when we start to talk about mental behavioral health, we start to think like we need these really trained professionals, these high level therapists, like how much can often state case that, when really it's a matter of coming into a community and setting up an evening of selling. It's really coming in to set in the evening to say, yo, you know, let's do something, you know, let's do something together. And that is, you know, that is calming for people. And they're real basic, let's have a meeting of yoga. Let's do some mindfulness. I don't want to shake on things. So, and then there's the church, you know, the churches. And that was something that when Chair James mentioned that Director Cody is talking about how he's trying to, you know, get these churches involved. And my comment to that was we have a lot of churches like communities, and we don't know if clearly some, there's fancy churches and then there's some that, that are, they're buildings, but somewhere somebody's getting money. And they face so much job. And then they know that's somewhere they're collecting and finding funds to come to the nation for those churches. But what else are you asking money for? And where else, how much money are you getting? And if you're here to say you're helping the people, we want to see that too. So if you have the buildings and you have people run some youth programs and after school programming, even Bible sessions, talking circles, whatever it is, there's enough churches in every one of our communities. So it really is. So we should start to really, say to them, or shade and they do really good job in their summer, lead guest programs, so you can, they awesome, because they bring the little, band, they go pick up the kids, and they bring them over, they feed them, they do crafts and activities with them, so they do a good job. We just need more, so that's, what I think, and I think it really needs to be collective effort and really bringing everybody together, so. Those are my only comments and my suggestions, recommendations. Get those two, include those two efforts, the trauma informed care within the schools, as well as getting involved with that. So and then everybody can take a little piece of all of it. My final comment just is, I have a relative who is a law enforcement person, and people at this time were really, they really wanted something done in their schools. They wanted some real great plan that was going to ensure safety and about safety in their schools, and this comment really made me think, and basically he just told the school that there isn't a training that I can give you that is 100%. There really is no way to make your school absolutely. There can be ways that we can do it, but just if you're looking for, just tell me, he said, because there's several things he said, like your training staff. And how do you know that you put so much training into your staff and how to respond? But it turns out one of them is a disgruntled employee, and he is the one that comes back into the school and knows your plan and knows how to find the loopholes and knows how what they can do. And second, the other thing he said is not, he said, a trained law enforcement officer, you have to be desensitized, and meaning that if you come into the school and it's a young kid with a gun, a little young kid with a gun, you're going to have to shoot that. If you have to, you're going to have to shoot that. And are you prepared to do that? Are you mentally prepared to do that? Because automatically when you see young kids, we don't want to harm them, right? We most a lot of people. Certainly there's those who will help dogs that will harm, but he said that you have to, who has that mentality, the school staff ready for that, So he said, the individual said, kindness, the gentleness, the chicken house, just, he said, the only thing I can say, let's practice more kindness, the gentleness. And that was, really, really happy thinking about a lot of things. So, I know it's a bit of time, but since it isn't something that's really, I'm really passionate about, so I will be supportive in whatever way that I can. So, yeah. Good morning. Our leaders, our children that are in the safety and and, to be managing this. And I just like to say thank you to you all for, times we take away for students, our children, to be safe at school. And so many years ago, I served on the Indian Education Council for our local school and then HEHSC. So now I know at that time we started talking about safety in the school, and we started planning to close off the campus. And that's what really worked for us, and think that the school is more safe like that, and it will be like these schools and our local schools, they have close campus too. To go when you get to the school, you have to talk on the intercom for them to open the doors for you, which is really safe, because we don't have securities everywhere. We have not everybody has gone to security, so I think those are the close campus do really work for our students that use state to we even leave our algorithms back into the schools. For them to teach to their stories to the children, to have that respect, because we are losing them. That's the way that's when we're talking about all this, because we're beginning to teach that instead of, to have respect for one another. We're losing all that, and from the supporting school, we have virtues that talk to us during school time. We gave them an hour, the teacher gave them an hour to talk. That's where I think we're just really and us ourselves individually, so we are out of small. Some of them have wise words to share with our students. And some of the students, if they with them on them, I'm listening. So that's the way I see it. And I really appreciate this, and I don't want to take so much of your time from other people, so I'll give the floor back to share with you.
Thank you very much for questions. With that, Dr. Carolyn Clark will be the quarterback for the public response. These are two questions.
It's money, but I think, but money, but it's in there. That's why we're allowing to deal with this problem now. Public schools. Up with we're in the school, they host that summer leadership club. And they did it out of their own resources. I think that's the way to do it, even if it was in front of social services, community development, public safety. We did put a safety laws in there, right? Like I put it in my form sheet to work on safety and health. So we're going to be planning mental health something over here, UNM. So we're going to involve you all, okay? So I think that's a big element to what we're trying to do. The other thing is talking to Chief New and Commander T, who's actually online. He was supposed to be here, but there's no busy there. But you know that we're trying to come up with SCA, State Education Agency. They were approved DPS to have their own personnel department, their own finance person. And we said, there's no money there. Well, it's still getting money. It's just getting more police officers. So they're dealing with the same thing we're doing, same thing with the Department of Health. So if you work through like PD, and unfortunately, kind of all involved, they're the same plan. And I think it's involved on that too. And so I think that's part of it. I mean, the fix, and I think public safety themselves, I have a lot more respect and appreciation for our police officers. What they see, they can't unsee. What they hear, they can't hear. What they smell, they can't smell. And then when they retire, how they be addressed, you know? So, their facilities, their facilities, their jails, their youth detention facilities, and we can live there. Then at the same time, we're trying to advocate through this task force. At the state level, the tribal level. The church faith-based, I think it would be interesting to have a faith-based church report status, how many there are, what their congregation is, and what their financial like, someone, because that is a big part of it. No, that's what I think that whole nights and Christmas. And so, I think that's good piece to the we'd like to have a cultural language symposium, because we're going to have to go to the one church and collect the whole history to be reported. 80, awesome, 80. And here, they have a 40 intellectual cultural property right from now. So there's property rights, cultural rights, even we're trying to get some medicine. We can't even hire a medicine. Then go on, the Trump government, we had to have a $3. It's hospitals bleed. And also our policy, right? And just have them share that information with us. They have to go through the whole legal process. To do that, maybe it's an outgoing team needs to do that. So I think that's a good question, and really look into that, because we'd like to establish that medicine and Christian. And then also, we'll see this is going something that should be done. I'd like to see that. I'd like to check with that. And then also school board association, they were involved with us at the beginning. And I think what this task force is doing the training. I didn't know that these police officers are going to go in there and then we're going to apprehend that person shooting. But as they're going in, there's people that have been shot or they've been wounded. And then these bullets are going to go through like 20 walls, power of a bullet, right? Even the structure of the how safe is it? I didn't know a lot of this, but you have to know how to turn it on somebody that's shot. That kind of training, just basic training, how to hurt this among all of the departments, over 5,000 employees. And I think we could start there. Delegate Science, as I talked about, this trauma in four schools. That's something that we're still kind of grappling with, learning about. And then I think this grant that we're working with, we don't help. We hired a lot of yesterday. So create this little building program. So students come to the room and then people move. If we could ask the building, really, you can meet us. We'd like to have you all be here, and that would be helpful to us. And I just learned about this BAD. Then the judicial department came over to our summits. We have the legislature for other executive reports, and we have the judicial. So we're actually that is going to and he came over. So through his leadership, I got involved that this thing is actually moving. We actually come to make this recommendation to see how we can formalize it and promote it. So I go to because they said that the judicial too. It's Florida terminology with that. With the schools, problem with one student being punished and getting kicked out, they bring that student back in, and students say were affected. So different kind of ways from conflict resolution. And then I like to sit down with development. I think I was ready to make this to different branch of vision structures, so that way they can all be involved, because good thing help is all the way brought out of each one of our funds that they can put some money towards the safety, training protocol, active student training. Just get that active student training, people did it inside, that Aztec school shooting several years ago. They came over, man, what's today? 31. Remember, who was it? Ashton, right over there. Through your eyes. This thing is like really. That's who they have in front. Senator from the environment, he came over to the task. And his anti, they were shot. And then, Donnie Key, talked about, those people like, somebody gets shot, how do we deal with it? That grief, how do we do it? Stating out the unity, how do we deal with it? Putting our relatives in it. We talked about the whole thing. And so, I think that's something that, we're just at the beginning. I think, you could establish with all these budget agreements going on, give us some more. Where, can create an office, health and safety, not just at the police department, but us. I look at Abolition Jail, they said, we can't turn it down, we go to jail. I think, my recommendation, Mr. Chair, is that we can continue to develop our recommendations. And we still have some work to do. They're not really things that we are specifically paid for. It's because of our children and our community that we're all involved. So thank you, Mr. Chair. I hope I answered some questions.
Very much, committee member, it is on channel 1. My number here, 11. So with that, I'd like to end the questions and comments. And we'll have further discussions in regards to this particular report. It's an ongoing report, and it's an ongoing discussion that we have before us. What were the dates here? August 25th. So that is next Thursday, August 25th. So again, or is it Friday? Friday, August 25th. That will be at UNM. So committee members, if you guys can join that time again, if you're available. Those are some very important pieces that we can have your input there as well. That way it's noted. If you can email us an agenda for that event on Friday, August 25th, that will be helpful as well. For our travel off reservation document as well. So I also want to recognize our nomination vice president. Toya is on the Zoom call, so thank you for joining in. And so thank you, Vice President, for being on the call. So with that, I know the honorable Curtis Lee, but he's looking at me over here. He wants to say something, and I don't know probably use that against him for a long time. So I'm gonna give him some time to take some questions and comments. And then if you can respond back to him quickly after his question. I think he's the only one that's left, so I'll go ahead and let's talk, and then want to see something too. So we'll give him the time, open him to say a few things. Honorable Curtis Nico.
Yes, yeah, for letting me speak here. You know, we got presented here. I will Dr. Burn Clark, yeah, and then your staff here. I just want to make a comment on what Vince James asked you guys about 911 elders. That communication through traditional language, traditional language. In that area is suicide, abuse, mental health service administration, saying something. There's a tribal technical advisory committee. Not holding by me, Dr. Michelle Ransom, response to that, and I think that you guys need to be aware of that, or you guys are being aware of that. That's the emergency hotline. 988. You know, that'll be a good service for to speak to. Really true that we're away from our traditional values. Because I think a lot of meetings throughout the nation, and it seems that there's like 90% of the nations all like into HEHSC, the only association that they really follow. And then a lot of it is with the Christianity as well. And so, you know, like in our traditional Navajo ceremonies, there's a lot of value that we always have to think about that, because there's a lot of prevention in there. That's suicide and, you know, alcohol and drug use. Because those are the issues that comes up, and I know that these medicine people, the holy people, the one that carry that, the kind of healing process, and you know, nobody got to do that. And then there's, you know, there's these other churches that it's often seem like they're just in there for like donations or something like that, and that's why they're popping up everywhere. You know, that's what the question is coming in. You know, the door, some kind of like a helpful resource from there, and that's what I see. Because I just came into this nation, you know, it's, you know, right now, as being a council, that's how I have served. I thought, you know, no one listens, it's all to tell me that truth. If I say tradition, I don't know if that's the correct term. If I say tradition, you know, maybe it's in AC, that's what it means. Because when I'm going down the road, I see like traditional treatments. And then I go in there and see all those teepees in there. Because, okay, this is the, let's turn around. If I want to see the original Navajo tradition, and that's what I want to see, but I don't see that anymore. So that kind of terminology, that's what it's describing religion. I think we're facing out on that. But I just want to inform you about the 988 service. We'll get another.
Thank you. Just a few comments. The first one is, while working with Cody, I did a lot of several other colleagues awarded the American Canadian Resilience and Education Grant. And this day has not been used. What that is, it's going to build a social emotional curriculum for K-12 now. Not focused on the idea, but this grant or private schools or public schools, it's all schools. And my recommendation is to look at the grant, language in the grant, is how this also fits into build that curriculum. She did, I did a lot of recommendation prior to my partnership, and it's very unfortunate that it's something that was given by the very community on the side of the Boston. And now we're very well known for giving money back to federal agents, to state agents. This is one of those things that I feel may occur. We work very hard on that, and it gets that should be utilized at least for this discussion too. The other things to psychology, you know, I think for us, we understand the limitations of services within our communities. That our work students really are specifically involved. Many of you have public schools, friends, within the work that you do or that work. It's like that also elevates the need that not and I just wanted to use, no. States on that. Yeah, you might say that it's songs to the song.
Thank you for that, the Inez as well as, Mr. So now I'll turn it back over to, Dr. Paul.
Okay, good. Here's another. I'll see the video on this 988, that 988, right? No, it was all. The judge was no aid to the governor. He let it follow. That's going to be found out to. And then 911, 988, and so we did it for the this. You know, that was 50, you hear what happened to that emergency call. So I think this, the particular call is not bad. And then we're talking to Head Start, all those schools, we're not sure. Hey, well, multiple sure, we know that you know, we're not together anymore. Or the grandma and grandma. I look citizens there, they actually, some of them are more mature, that is Catholic. I don't know if it is, I don't know if it is something. But all that said, you can all listen and be okay, this is what motion like. So I think somehow, maybe a little direct from this committee, the support to say, host some faith-based entities, that would be helpful. Coordinated with the different departments. And so to me, that's really better to the department. Help and save. The incident that happened in Phoenix too, as you know. And so that's still important. Then the last piece of it, after this, asked about FDL. We had the people that were looking at, and we tried to deal with it the last time. Education and DPM with the HEHSC committee. We were going to have a follow-up meeting with every manual there. We were going to have a meeting on split putting that like the entire on emergency basis. Then built the positions. But then we have to give an update to our vice president. I want to give credit to the foundation vice president. And her sister was no longer our education liaison. And so they are attending this regularly. Something her, and we're now talking to this, bringing it to this committee. People said, what is this happening? I don't know. But I sure like to keep it going to activate and keep allocating. Mr. Chair, the committee, none of our staff, I think over a lot of the public schools, BIA schools, rural schools, and the state of New York, there's no need to do that. And we still, we're not just the president, like good, then you all have
very much, thank committee members, we do have a motion on the floor, and that is, motion made by Honorable Dr. Andy Nez, second by Honorable Vice Chair Committee Simonson. So thank you for the presentation, Dr. Clark, and then the team members of the task force, Department of Education, VIP. Thank you very much for the information providing us that, information that you indicated on how you implement from VIP's point of view as well, how to assist from VIP. Thank you for that information. And so with that, I will call for a roll call vote. Committee members, Honorable Vice Chair Committee Simonson, Honorable Lena Nancy, Honorable Curtis Ito, Honorable George Snow, Honorable Dr. Nance. With that, we do have 5 in favor and chair not voting. Again, thank you for the presentation, thank you for the documents. I believe, some of us will be available on Friday to attend your event, and then we'll add it on the agenda as well. So thank you again very much. With that, moving on to the agenda, item number 6, old business, there is none. Number 7, new business, there is none. Number 8, close of meeting, announcement, adjournment. We do have a couple items on here as announcements. Please inform, Mr. Nolly or Ms. Thompson if you will be attending that social service on Woodshop in Reno, Nevada, which will take place, August 23rd and 24th. So if you're going to attend, please do inform the staff. Also, if you will be attending the August 25th event at UNN that was provided by Dr. Berlin Clark, they will be forwarding an agenda to us for next Friday to do our off-reservation travel form. If you're interested in attending that event, please do inform our staff here, Mr. Nolan, Ms. Thompson, so off-reservation travel can be made for you as well. Moving on, we do have our next regular health education human service committee meeting, which is on August 21st. That will be at HEHSC Regional Health Care in HEHSC, Arizona. So we'll see you out in HEHSC on Monday. The next one that's on the listing here is an update regarding the superintendent of state of New Mexico education meeting. Hello, we did submit 3 dates over to the state of New Mexico, but those 3 dates were actually given, but we have not received a response. The email was sent on June 27th, so I'll have Mr. Nolly provide that information. Mr. Nolly?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. While meeting with someone, I did send out, you should have received an email that I can update this county ordinance. Asking her for a follow-up on the meeting request that we that has made in June 2020. I didn't receive anything, it's a big the email to the secretary, but they didn't continue with so hopefully, we don't get that to me response to the email. I think everything's that that's when we will not be available because of the budget session for non and the council. So anytime other than that, we can consider that, but I will probably call her later on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And we were working with our staff also with Howard Williams. But unfortunately, those days one that went through, we'll again talk to our lobbyists for the US code, Howard Williams as well. So any of the agenda items, one hold on hold. And then the next one was in regards to the Kinley County School Board. We will send an email out. We'll have staff working on that as well. It's some days available to have that meeting as well. So so those are the 5 announcements that I have. Lastly, know that the EFC will be starting here at 11, which will be continuing budget hearings for the executive branch. And then later on this afternoon, most likely move on into the legislative branch on budget. We still do have to cover all of the standing committees, oversight, department and divisions budgets. We haven't gotten to that as well. But we'll just probably play by ear to get that meeting notice out for our understanding committee oversight division department budget as well. So that would be my last announcement. I don't believe there's any other announcements. Committee members? Committee vote? And Anderson and the meeting. Yeah. So there is no other. Okay, so. We would need to vote on the travel to the social service workshop, Bureau of Indian Affairs. Funding for human service, program August 23rd through the 25th, which will be in Reno, Nevada. Again, if you're interested, please let staff know, but in the meantime, we have to vote on it to utilize the HEHSC account for that. Do I have a motion for that? Motion made by Honorable George Cole, seconded by Honorable Curtis Benito. Are there any questions? Again, like I stated, if you're interested in traveling, please do let our advisor, staff know that information. So with that, we do have a motion made by George Cole and then seconded by Honorable Curtis Benito. So with that, we'll go on the travel certificate workshop. August 23rd to the 25th in Reno, Nevada. Roll call vote, Honorable Vice Chair Greg Simonson. Honorable Helena Mansky. Honorable Curtis Benito. Honorable George Hope. Honorable Dr. Inez. So now we do have 5 in favor and chair not voting. That motion is carried. The second one is in regards to travel to utilize the fencing account again. Again, if you are interested in attending the Union School Public Safety Task Force conference meeting workshop August 25th in Gallup, New Mexico. If I can have a motion on that as well. Committee members, do I have a motion? Motion made by Honorable Helena Mansky and second by Honorable Dr. Andy Nez. Again, if you are interested in attending this event, Gallup next Friday, please let staff know. So with that, if there's no questions, I will do the roll call vote. Again, Honorable Vice Chair Greg Simonson. Honorable Helena Mansky. Honorable Dr. Inez. Honorable George Cole. Honorable Curtis Benito. So with that, we do have 5 in favor, straight not voting, and that motion was carried. Again, if you're interested in attending that, please vote staff. With that, we do have no other items under announcements. So with that, I will call for adjournment here at 10:22 a.m. Do I have a motion? Motion by Honorable Vice Chair Greg Simonson, second by George Cole. So with that, I will call the roll call vote unless you guys go on to adjourn. Honorable Vice Chair Greg Simonson. Honorable Helena Mansky. Honorable Dr. Inez. Honorable George Cole. Honorable Curtis Benito. So with that, we do have 5 in favor and chair not voting. So with that, we are hereby adjourned at 10:22 a.m. Again, meeting members, if we can have some time, the limited time to have Karen Rock recovery provide us a presentation here to the committee members. Other than that, everybody else is excused. Thank you for attending our testing meeting. Again, thank you, safe travels home. We are here about at 10:22 a.m. So thank you. Watch